There's not a lot of fun things that happen in this line of work. A lot of it's depressing, a lot of it is very stupid, but this week we actually had a fun moment where two top-name Republican representatives started going at each other's throats on Twitter. And those Republicans, of course, were Marjorie Taylor Greene on one side, and in the other corner, Dan Crenshaw, representative from one of the most gerrymandered districts in the state of Texas. And Crenshaw, believe it or not, actually kind of emerged as, I guess, what you would call the good guy in the fight, even though he's still a radical extremist, in my view. And a lot of what he said was, in fact, factually wrong. But here is the exchange that started it all. Crenshaw was replying to a Twitter troll, and Crenshaw said this: investing in the destruction of our adversary's military without losing a single American troop strikes me as a good idea. You should feel the same. And this is, of course, in response to Crenshaw talking about the $40 billion in aid that the United States has agreed to send to Ukraine this week. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was not mentioned in that conversation, picked up on Crenshaw's conversation and tweeted this in response: "So you think we're funding a proxy war with Russia? You speak as if Ukrainian lives should be thrown away, as if they have no value, just used and thrown away for your proxy war? How does that help Americans? How does any of this help?" To which Crenshaw responded simply, "Still going after that slot on Russia today, huh?" And then Marjorie Taylor Greene got pissed. And she said, "Sanctions aren't stopping anything, but they are driving inflation and fuel prices. I refuse to vote for useless measures that cause problems but solve none. While you send $40 billion for your proxy war against Russia, I'm focused on baby formula for American babies." Okay. A lot of wrong things from both people here. Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, being far more wrong than Dan Crenshaw, although it is nice to see that clearly she's learned the phrase proxy war this week, because she said it in 4 sentences 3 times. So, good for you, Marjorie. You learned a new term. You get a gold star by your name. Here's the thing. Dan Crenshaw's out there boasting like, ha ha ha, we're toppling our adversary. Yeah, that's really not a good point to be making, because you are, in fact, confirming that the United States is somehow fighting this fight, as you say, without having troops on the ground, which, yeah, it's great. We don't have troops over there, but if you're admitting that the United States is actively trying for regime change in Russia, that's not a good thing. Yes, Putin is terrible. Putin's a horrible human being. Putin kills his own people. But it should not be our responsibility to dethrone him, right? We've seen that story play out, not just with the United States foreign policy actions, but with other countries doing it as well. And it never ends well for anybody. That's a bad thing that we do not want, even if Putin is a horrible human being that shouldn't be in power. But that's not our place. We can't do this. We can't be the world police. But then I have to say this, Marjorie Taylor Greene suddenly acting like Ukraine lives don't matter to you. What are you talking about? He just voted for the aid package that you voted against. They don't matter to you. You've been on Putin's side clearly throughout this whole thing. So I don't understand that. And then she says like, I'm focused on baby formula and American babies. Oh, really? So as a member of the House of Representatives, I would love to see the legislation you've put forward. Oh, you haven't done that. I'm so sorry. Here I am thinking that you actually had power as a sitting member of the House of Representatives to do something about the baby formula shortage. But in reality, you're just bitching about it on Twitter. I wouldn't say that that's focused on. You're trying to use it as a talking point to blame Biden for something he has no control over, when in fact it's due to the fact that Abbott Laboratories, one of the biggest makers of baby formula in this country, was found to have contaminated baby formula, had to pull a ton of it off the market after a whistleblower exposed them for having unsafe practices and, of course, poisoning babies. Bet y'all didn't know that part of the story, did ya? Yes, that is a thing that happened that was revealed in late April. And Marjorie Taylor Greene conveniently ignores that fact as she says she's focused on American babies, but she's literally doing nothing about it, even though she could. So that's where we stand right now in this Twitter feud. Hopefully it continues, because as much as I hate both of these individuals, it is wonderful to see them arguing and somehow managing both to be completely wrong. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low, low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.